Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight at 10 on THV 11. I'm Sarah Horbacewicz. Now, as teachers prepare to head back to class, Arkansas legislators are preparing for a special session. During that session, educators are hoping for a pay raise, and many spent today at the Capitol making sure that plea was heard. What began as a celebration of Educators Sunday continued as a rally.
Halls of your state capitol building, as well as in your paycheck.
We have a crisis situation on our hands.
Crowds of Arkansas teachers, including Gwen Falkenberry, came together on the Capitol steps to ask the state for pay raises.
You'd like to put that on the special session agenda.
That special session starts Tuesday, and Governor Hutchinson had previously signaled teacher raises as a possible use for that $1.6 billion surplus, but it's no longer certain.
So we got a lot of momentum for the teacher pay side, but I think they will consider that next year. And so this session should go smoothly with a consensus on the items that we have.
Even still, activists like Jenny Diaz, the executive director for AR People, are still working to make sure this topic is at the top of legislators' minds this week.
We have heard from nearly 16,000 Arkansans who've signed a petition saying that educators need a pay raise now
and into the future.
But even if these lawmakers turn a deaf ear to us and do not add this to the special session, it's just the beginning.
As the decision of how to use the state's $1.5 billion surplus is now just days away, many teachers will be watching this session closely.
Hopefully the legislature will see that this matters so much to our people, and they still have time. They can put it on the agenda.
The next regular session of the legislature will be in 2023, but that third special session will begin this Tuesday. As of right now, the governor is calling on lawmakers to provide immediate tax relief for Arkansans and set aside $50 million for a school safety grant program.
Everybody managed to enjoy the weekend. It was a beautiful one at that. We were hot and humid. Highs today were around 95 degrees for us here in Little Rock. On average, low 90s is common for this time of year, so a little bit warmer than average. Our temperatures right now this evening, we're still holding on to the low to upper 80s across the map. Upper 80s right now in Conway, same in Russellville and Hot Springs. And as we go into tonight, we'll be cooling down, and I say that lightly because it's still going to be fairly warm, with temperatures sitting anywhere from mid to upper 70s overnight with a few clouds in place. You'll see partly sunny conditions, scattered afternoon showers and storms for your Monday. Still hot and humid, but more rain is in the picture for the upcoming work week, so it will be a little bit unsettled. I'll have a better look at that in the forecast coming up.
New at 10 tonight, Governor Asa Hutchinson tells THV 11 that he expects the upcoming special session to last about a week. It comes after he spoke only to THV 11 at a National Guard Summit today. It's the 51st annual conference of the Enlisted Association of the National Guard of the United States, an organization that advocates for guardsmen. After speaking at the event, he spoke with us to answer questions on upcoming session for lawmakers to adjust your taxes and fund school safety.
But I expect that there's broad agreement on the tax relief package and the school safety resources as well. So I expect it to go quickly and smoothly. Hopefully we will be able to get out by the end of this week.
The session begins on Tuesday, and THV 11 will be there to bring you full coverage. A developing story tonight. Detectives are investigating after a woman was found dead in a vehicle. North Little Rock police are calling it a suspicious death. Here's what we know right now. Last night, officers around 9 o'clock were called to the parking lot of the Hilton Garden Inn for reported injured person, but the woman was already dead. Her cause of death and identity are not being released right now, but her body has been taken to the Arkansas State Crime Lab for an autopsy. And over in Faulkner County, sheriff's deputies have arrested the man you're seeing on your screen, 22-year-old Xavion Griffin, on charges of killing a girl. It comes after yesterday's announcement that a juvenile female had died after being shot in the head. Griffin is arrested on charges including capital murder, conspiracy, and theft. And another developing story tonight, a judge from Arkansas County is found dead after a possible drowning in Jefferson County. District Court Judge Jeremiah Bucher was out with his family and friends yesterday when he disappeared. His family called 911, and this morning search crews found his body using sonar. His death is considered accidental, and his body was taken to the state medical examiner office for an autopsy. In national headlines, the Democratic Party is celebrating a victory tonight after barely getting a bill through the Senate called the Inflation Prevention Act. But Republicans who unanimously opposed it are not happy. They say it'll make the problem worse. Deborah Alfarone has more.
Congressional Democrats are a step closer to handing the White House a much-needed political victory. Today, the Senate approved a massive spending bill that addresses some of President Biden's domestic priorities, including health care costs and climate change.
This bill will kickstart the era of affordable clean energy in America. It's a game changer, it's a turning point, and it's been a long time in coming.
With Republicans unanimously opposed to the Inflation Reduction Act, it was left to Vice President Kamala Harris to cast a tie-breaking vote.
The yeas are 50, the nays are 50. The Senate being equally divided, the Vice President votes in the affirmative, and the bill, as amended, is passed.
The GOP has framed the bill as a package of tax hikes and unnecessary spending that could hurt the economy.
We shouldn't be raising taxes ever, but especially in a recession. And why would we be raising the taxes on gas right now when it's $2 above what it was when Joe Biden took office?
Democrats say the bill will ease inflation and reduce the federal deficit as well. It provides the IRS with $80 billion in new funding to go after high-income tax evaders. It also imposes a 15% minimum tax on large corporations.
Very few pieces of legislation will ever make the kind of impact that this climate bill will have.
The bill still must be approved by the House, which could come as early as Friday, when its members return from a summer recess. Deborah Alfarone, CBS News, New York.
And President Biden reacted to the bill's passage on Twitter, writing, quote, Senate Democrats voted to lower the cost of prescriptions, health insurance, and energy, all while reducing the deficit and making the richest corporations pay their fair share. Here at THV 11, we are your election central. So here's a look at recent early voting tallies for two special elections in Pulaski County. More than 1,500 people have voted for Little Rock's special election. That's a millage extension spread among 6 ballot questions. Across the river, nearly 500 people have shown up to vote on whether to continue a half-cent sales tax in North Little Rock. Early voting continues tomorrow before Election Day on Tuesday. We have a list of those early voting locations and times on our website at thv11.com. Still ahead on the news at 10, could you save cash by shading your conditioner? The Verify team looks into whether or not keeping your AC cool could cut your bills. Plus, Corrales.
Sarah, I'll be talking about our increasing rain chances as we head into the new week. More on that just ahead.